Hello? Hello? Okay na ba? Ayan. Magandang gabi. Doc Chris here, Discovery MD, and welcome sa isang video. Paano ba? Sa mga nandyan, nakasubaybay. Blessed Good Friday sa inyo. Sino nandito? Perfect Defect, good evening. Kapsura, Beth. Oy, QB, good evening. Paano Outbreak? Doc Chris, paano yung Beth? Na, ano? Sinasayawan mo. Ano? Parang bet ko yung nakakita ng video na sinasawan mo yung intro mo. Parang di ko kaya yun. Azrael, oh, good evening, Kapzura. Okay, Doc. Medyo malinaw. Okay yan, ganda. Kaya try kong ayusin tong setup eh. Medyo magulo yung likod. Kaya naka-blur. Anyway, good evening. So, yung tignan natin yung title natin is more on, sabi ko, Outbreak ng Anthrax. So, sa atin, hindi itong madalas binabalita kasi at Anthrax. Ang last na narinig kong Anthrax is ginamit siya for scare sa terrorism dito sa, I think sa US. Sa panahon natin ni, not sure kung kay Barack Obama or kay George W. Bush. Kasi sabi nila there were letters na tainted with anthrax. Now, ano ba yung anthrax na yan? Ano to? Virus? Fungi? Or bacteria? So, kailangan natin malaman kung ano ba. Kasi ngayon, punta tayo dito sa mga balita. Siguro hindi nyo masyadong nakukuha pero there are some news in our locality na meron na sa other countries katabi natin. No, tingnan natin. Paano ba punta doon? Intermission ba? Share screen. Ayan. Ay, ang laki nung kwan. Wait lang yung chat. Edit ko lang yung chat Kakaayos ko lang kasi. Chat. Litan natin konti. Med school. Ano to? Ay, wait lang. Oo nga. Actually, sa med school ko din narinig yun before kasi paano mas maganda? Dito na lang, no? Sa baba na lang ako. Naiwan yung kwan. Palitan natin. Live to, live. Dito sa baba. Yan, mas maayos. Yan. Ang anthrax is more on bacterial kwan siya. Magalaw tong screen ko. Baka may bacterial infection siya. No? Cause siya ng isang bacteria. Tawag nating Bacillus anthracis. No? So ngayon, sa mga balita ngayon sa Thailand, Teach, kung nandyan ka. Okay. Thailand ba si Teach? Matangol tuloy. No, Thailand out. Actually, hindi naman sa Thailand mismo, sa Laos to. No? Thailand on high alert for anthrax following outbreak in Laos. Kasi katabi lang niya. No? So, what is anthrax? So, ang anthrax is a bacteria caused by a bacillus. No, may dalawa tayo kasing common types of bacteria. Common kasi meaning meron pa kasing other shapes ang mga bacteria natin. We have cocci, yung spherical or ovoid shapes. And we also have your bacilli or yung rod-shaped na bacilli. Yung rod-shaped bacilli usually are gram-positive. Sa amin sa mga medical schools, siguro may enjoy nyo yun. Na ano to yung mga terms ng gram-positive and gram-negative. So, gram-positive usually kasi they are preferred outdoor. They are usually aerobic. Nandyan sa kapaligiran natin. Si anthrax is a bacilli. No? It's a bacteria living out in the environment This is usually transmitted through the soil, no? They grow from soil, and also they infect animals and as well as even humans, no, through direct contact of what we call spores. Now, may stage kasi ang anthrax, no? The spore stage is usually yan yung parang nagha-hibernate version niya. They highly resistant to to disinfectants, as well as highly resistant to heat, cold, and extremes of weather. Not unless you use certain chemicals to destroy those spores. No, you call it sporicides. No, yung kagaya ng Lysol, isa yon. No, now those spores, once they come in contact to a victim or a host, they could cause serious infections. Punta tayo sa CDC kasi sa CDC usually they record these types of events. Actually, anthrax is a serious concern, and is usually reported immediately sa local government kasi very contagious. It could be contagious within a span of weeks. Pwedeng magkaroon ng spread kung hindi ma-control immediately, no? And yung mga symptoms niya, they are disfiguring, depende sa type kasi may mga types of infection ang anthrax, no? Isa lang yung bacteria pero marami siyang pwedeng gawin, no, sa'yo. So according to CDC, pwede nyo nang puntahan to sa website nila. So CDC anthrax, search nyo lang. So very informative naman yung website ng CDC. So you want to know what anthrax is, who are at risk, and what's the prevention. So punta tayo dito sa yung what is anthrax. So quick information on anthrax. A serious infection caused by a gram-positive rod-shaped bacteria called Bacillus anthracis occurs naturally in the soil, commonly affects domesticated wild animals around the world. So technically, it's found all over the globe. No, anthrax is not contagious, which means you can catch it with another person like a flu or cold. However, when you come in contact with the spores, dun kayo kakaroon ng problem. Okay? Kasi once it releases yung toxins, that would lead to the symptoms. Okay? Tignan natin itong picture na to ng baka. Yan. So again, this is a public website. You could browse on it all you want and want to know more on anthrax. So once the bacillus or the bacteria is in its dormant spore state, okay, active spore state sa grasslands, sa soil, no? And then na-come in contact sa isang animal like your cow, which is the usual livestock sa atin dito. Others would be your horses, pigs, diba? Goats. So when the spores get into the body of an animal or a person, they can be activated and turn into an active growing cell. So once the rods enter the cell, okay, they multiply, or the body of the host, they multiply. Now, pag dumami yan, okay, each of those bacilli may harbor particular toxin or a poison. There are 3 types of toxins in anthrax. The PA, the lethal factor, and also the edema factor. Combinations kasi yan eh. PA plus your lethal factor. Well, by the name itself, lethal factor could be one of them. What could be a lethal toxin towards your cell. It can enhance yung tinatawag nating cell death or apoptosis. So it will cause necrosis of the tissue. Magkakaroon ka ng madaling parang pagkabulok ng tissue na naapektuhan ng isang parte ng katawan, no? Mas prominent siya sa tinatawag nating cutaneous anthrax. Okay? Makikita nyo yun sa balat kasi. Tapos, we also have yung PA plus yung EF or yung edema factor, wherein it alters yung cycle ng mga electrolytes as well as yung components ng inyong cells that will wreak havoc, no, dun sa connections between intercellular pathways or signals sa mga cells sa katawan natin. It might also lead to what we call yung edema, no? Kasi kapag hindi na gumagana yung bridges between cell to cell, it will cause further deterioration of the function, and syempre kasama din ng other toxins, it will further destroy, okay, yung tissue na kung saan tumutubo yung anthrax, no? So again, there are 3 toxins. Pero yung pinakamahalaga dyan, syempre, ang goal natin, dapat hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng contact with such bacilli, no? Yung dami, yan. Balak ko pang teach, balak pa man din vangbing for vacation, mukhang next time na lang. O nga, nakang-high alert ata kayo dyan. Mukhang black yung anthrax sa lupa. Amag ang anthrax, doc, hindi siya amag. Amag, I think that is more on fungi. It's more on bacteria, no? Tapos, ingat teach. Kapsura. Doc, nakakabulok rin po ba yung ng ipin na yun? Iba pala. Iba yun. Dental caries yun. Okay, ibang kwan yun. Ibang bacteria ang nagkakos. Tsaka, kung hindi nagsisipilyo, pwede mabulok. Okay, ano pa? Sige. So, how are people infected? Yun. Same dun sa sinabi ko dun sa baka kanina. Pag na come in contact ka with the spores. Okay, how do we prevent exposure to anthrax? Siyempre, sa atin, sa humans, we rarely have exposure to anthrax. The more prone in life forms are yung cattle, livestock, no? Pero, nowadays, in the verge of bioterrorism, they have been talks and also been speculations that they might use anthrax as a bioterroristic weapon or agent, kasi they can isolate the spores and then they can inoculate it on any inanimate object. So that is somewhat alarming, disturbing, and frightening to do, kasi once they let you get exposed to the spores, you will have an array of symptoms that would follow, no? Ayun yung scare noon I think kay Obama yun eh. Tingnan nga natin kung mahanap natin. Obama anthrax scare. To ay 2001 anthrax scare. I think hindi siya yun. Ito. Anthrax scare hits President Obama as suspicious powder is sent to the Washington office. So again, this was reported before, way back pa, previous president, before Donald Trump, tsaka kay Biden. So si Barack Obama, mayroon scare noon kasi may nagpadala sa kanya ng isang white powder sa White House. So that is, well, syempre natakot sila. No, the letter was from Hong Kong and it already contained baby powder. So I think it was a scare. And similar threats were also given to Trump's daughter-in-law in New York Monday. So parang naulit-ulit yan. Well, it's not a surprise kasi kapag ganyan, they need to be extra careful, lalo na they're involving large key figures, no, in office, especially in US, ganun. Sa atin, well, extra careful siguro, lalo na sa mga ganyan. Well, we cannot tell kung directly kung anthrax ba talaga yon. Basta don't open suspicious packages, siguro pinaka mga best sa inyo. So again, the toxins, ano ba? Yung types of anthrax. At pakita ko na lang sa inyo kung ano yung types of anthrax. Kasi there are three most common types. Cutaneous anthrax, inhalational anthrax, at saka GI or gastrointestinal anthrax, no? So cutaneous anthrax, harapin natin. Cutaneous anthrax. Yun natin nasa picture, no, pinakita before. This is the most common. Almost, I think, 95% of anthrax infection noted, and also the least morbid. Okay, hindi siya, tsaka siya rin yung less infectious, no? So, ay, nakakuan. It has what we call parang as an eschar or edematous ulceration sa skin. I think mas maganda yung, well, naka-blur out naman. Diba? Derma Society. Tingnan natin to. View image. Okay, there. Cutaneous anthrax. There is noted edema. Ay, wala. Hindi pa rin nakikita dyan yung yung daliri. Yung highlighter ko. Anyway, pag nakita nyo dun, meron siyang black dun sa gitna. It's noted necrotic tissue yan. And then there is noted edema on the surrounding tissues. Paano saan ko pwede makita yung wala, no? Hindi nakikita. No, anyway. Dito parang PowerPoint. yung borders niya is noted to be red, no? The black one under in the center is necrotic tissue, meaning na mamatay na, no? It could be due to the toxin that is either from the lethal factor, ganun. And then the tissues there are already dead, no? Yung black na yan. And the surrounding is noted to be hyperemic, meaning namamaga, no? And full of inflammation. And then noted na may swelling sa area. So possibly due to edema, no? Edema factor. So, and then in patients with this type of anthrax infection, usually yan, hindi siya painful, no? Non-painful yung type of lesion na yan sa skin. And pag ganyan nakikita namin, that's very alarming, and we have to inform the local government immediately. Kasi mga ganyan itsura, suspicious na yan, hindi, unless you're considering cancer, but that is a usual hallmark of cutaneous anthrax. Visual, tignan natin ito din. Noted edema outside, and then there's a black necrotic debris in the center, no? So sa inhalation cutaneous anthrax yan, painless siya, very though very itchy. It will leave what we call, ayan, yung term na yan is an scar, no? And then noted edema on the surrounding surface. Natin to. Yan, also that one. This is a cutaneous anthrax. Okay. Ano nagsasabi dyan? Okay, Doc, teach. Wag mo subukan. Masisira. Ano to? Doc, nakakabulok ba ang ipin? Na dati, nagkaroon ako ng scare sa mga snails. Snail mail dahil sa anthrax. Pero hanggang ngayon, takot pa rin ako magbukas ng mail. Numeral ko. I think baka yung bill siguro yung problem dyan, QB. Yun, good evening, Doc. Hey, IC. Ng kapsura. May save pa yung balat dyan, Doc. I think, well, that is, that area is noted to be necrotic tissue. So, that depends on restoring the area. Pero, dun sa area na yan, hindi na yung masasave yung nag-black. What we can do is, syempre, close the lesion once it's fully healed. And, if sobrang malaki yung extensive, destruction yan, that depends on plastic surgery rather, if they would warrant the use of like mga flaps, ganun. So flaps is reconstruction of the skin or making use of grafts, no? After, pero ang goal natin ngayon is not to restore the skin, it's to cure the infection first, no? Sesa, good Friday, Doc Teach. Doc Chris. And sa lahat. Hello, Cesa. Okay, that is cutaneous anthrax. Let's go to, inhalational anthrax. Ito yung mas nakakakuan, bothering kasi inhalational anthrax is, yun yung term na kapag nagbukas ka ng sobre, nalanghap mo, it will lead to very serious sores, no? So usually, sabi niya dito, non-specific, it would usually present with usually a pneumonia feature, but it would be very rapidly progressing, and it can be very deadly. Okay, it would occur within the next 24 hours with the presence of the lesions or edema, as well as hemorrhagic coughing. Magkakaroon ka ng hemoptysis, and then there is noted bleeding in the area. Okay, particularly sa mediastinum, no? Kasi siyempre pag pumasok na din dyan at doon nag-harbor yung mga toxins, it will also wreak havoc with the respiratory lining. So take note, kapag doon naman nagdugo, nagkaroon ka ng clot doon, it will be very discomforting, at saka kailangan mo i-save yung airway or access ng airway mo. And then pag nag-cause ng edema doon, and well, that is compromise of your airway. Yun naman ang ayaw natin, no? So example, walang masyang picture. Well, sa x-rays kasi hindi nyo kasi masyadong ma-appreciate to, not unless in the medical field. So ano ba, typical naman, noted may edema. Okay, ayan, inhalational anthrax. So this is usually yun, nalanghap niya, noted na magkaroon ng bloody hemorrhagic mediastinitis, and then also the area wherein the toxins latch in, and yung bacteria nag-latch in. Well, doon na magpo-produce ng toxins, it will cause yung lethal factor, at saka yung edema. It will cause edema of the lungs and the parenchyma, leading to syempre compromise of your respiration. So acute respiratory distress, and leading to the patient's demise kasi masyadong lethal tong type of yung anthrax na to, no? So yung inhalational anthrax. Na yung GI anthrax din naman, sabi naman sa GI anthrax, which is one of the, syempre mas common kasi si cutaneous anthrax na mini-mention in books. Si GI anthrax or oropharyngeal, pag pumasok sa bunganga mo, okay, kasi pwede either pumunta sa nalanghap mo or pumasok sa bunganga mo, it will lead to either one, bleeding, syempre, same, necrosis of either the oral pharynx or the oral mucosa, the tongue, and also the lining of the esophagus. Swelling, because of yun nga, the edema factor, it would cause swelling and blockage of food, hindi ka makakain ng maayos. There's noted difficulty in swallowing, okay, or dysphagia, and noted abdominal pain as well as vomiting and GI. Again, kapag nagkaroon ka ng bleeding episodes sa GI, same problem. It will destroy the lining of your GI tract, no? So very destructive yung toxin of this bacteria. That's why it's very alarming, and it is a huge concern in that requires the local authorities. Now, kung magkaroon ba ng event or activity of recent anthrax spread, kailangan magkaroon ng surveillance, no? So yun ngayon ginagawa ng Laos, and nagkakaroon na rin ng strict surveillance between the borders of Laos and Thailand. Okay? So yun lang naman sa atin. May outbreak po dati dito. I think kasi pa isa-isa lang, hindi siya outbreak. There are cases na may mention, no? Anthrax Philippines. Tingnan natin kung meron tayo. Pero there were suspected cases na I think na narinig ko noon, pero hindi naman nag-negative din before. So anthrax ito. Tingnan natin kung meron ba tayo. So mostly on livestock, particularly in carabaos. So which part of the country is most common? I think yan. So before, we had an outbreak last year. Last year pala. Especially in livestock lang. So this is more on Baguio. Okay, DOCLH declares anthrax outbreak. So this is more on sa Baguio noon. So on the livestock. Technically, kapag na-control naman ng local authorities yung spread, no, and remove any infected livestock, it will not infect humans as long as you buy your meat in the areas where it's clean. Okay, hindi siya botcha, hindi siya double dead, no? Yun lang naman ang pinakakuan mainam na kailangan natin gawin. Buy food that are cleaned or properly screened by local authorities, no? Hindi siya yung mga tira-tira retaso, at saka yung buy with the reliable source, no, reliable source of your food, no, especially sa atin dito sa Southeast Asia. Okay, so I think ito yung last na outbreak. So I think Baguio Midland. So 2023, that was last year. The case happened October 2. Only reported to DOH Cordillera October 18. So goal lang natin is syempre to be aware for now. And sa atin naman dito sa country, wala naman ibang problems on anthrax. Ang problem lang siguro natin ngayon is yung second video ko. It's more on yung pertussis, no? So hanggang doon lang naman tong video na natin ngayon on anthrax. May isa pa akong video later. Ayusin ko lang. So, ano siya pa nandito? Capsura. Yan. Junior MD, Queen Brat. Hindi ka nag-iisa. Marami tayong tatlo na magbubukas sa Meralco bill. Isama mo na rin yung water bill saka ibang mga bills. Wala nang kinalaman na anthrax doon. Batang liit ng itsura nung lungs. Yung lungs kanina. Ay, hindi ko din alam. Nakakatakot. Good evening sa lahat. Blasco, good evening. Okay, so gado lang yung video ko for this. May second video pa ako mamaya. Standby na lang. And meron din request si Teach. I think it's more on the kwan. Ano yun? May pinuso ko kanina. Tingnan mo, hina na ng utak ng kwan ko, memory ko. Hindi naman yung utak, memory. Bukas ata yun nakalagay. Hindi alalahanin ko. Something to do ata dun sa may bata eh. Tignan ko yung mamaya. Sige, hanggang doon na lang. Thank you guys for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye guys. Okay, tignan natin paano yung outro ko. Oy. And